Do you remember when you first knew you wanted to be? I mean, was it back in New Jersey when you were sort of on stage doing something and you said, holy, this is me for a lifetime?
No. No, I don't. I mean, I remember loving it when I was in my first musical, which was really the first play I'd been in, and it was in high school, sophomore year, and I was Marion the librarian and the music man, and I sang like a little bird. My chemistry teacher called me the songbird. Oh, here's the songbird again. And we did this show, and at the end, the whole audience stood up, and nobody got me ready for anything like that, and it was just like, whonk, the other reality comes in, which is I'd been in the play, all protected and in my world of fiction and music, and it was great, and then, you're jerked out of it, and that meeting between the proscenium and the people was, intoxicating. It was great. But no, I never thought, I didn't think I was, pretty enough to be a movie star. I liked acting, and I went into it. When I went to Vassar, I was in the drama department, but I took my degree in costume design.
But there's this story about you, too, which is interesting. You were, at some point there...
Every time you say there's this story, I think...
No, these are...
Yeah, right.
You're in a troupe somewhere, and you decide, which says something, that you want to go to Yale Drama School.
It was the 70s, and I was in a hippie commune up in Vermont. We were trying to do theater for summer theater through the winter in Vermont. We played in ski lodges and doing Chekhov, and people were like, by the second, because they've been skiing since 8 months.
Exactly.
We didn't think about
and a couple of glasses of wine.
Know your audience is a very good key. But yeah, I just thought we were good, interesting group of young, idealistic players. But I knew that it was being done better somewhere else, and I came out of that other, the academic tradition. I thought, well, I'll go to grad school. Go to grad school and learn something more.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm glad for the student loans that they used to have in those days, and that I could go, and glad I paid it off too. And but it was a lab where I could do a lot of work in an intense way without worrying how to make a living at the same time. I mean, I was, 26 when I got out, which is late for an actor and actress now, because you're practically middle-aged at that point. So, so I was just starting then, and so I was sort of a late bloom. But
yeah, but for late bloom, boy, did you start off running when you hit New York?
Yeah.
When she was still at Yale, Arvin Brown, who ran the Long Wharf Theater, was talking about her because they did 27 wagon loads of cotton at Long Wharf with Meryl while she was at Yale.
Award-winning director of stage and screen, Mike Nichols, who would direct 3 of Meryl Streep's films.
And the story he had told me about her was that she said to him the director, after about 10 days or 2 weeks of rehearsing, she said, if I don't find my character by the end of this week, I'm going to quit. I'm not going to do this, because I've gone on too long and haven't found her. And she found some big fat dress. She became fat for it the day before, and was completely transformed and found it, and that was that. So he was telling me about this, and he said what I just told you, and I said, who is this? Who is this person? And he said, well, you'll work with her. He said, her name is Meryl Streep. And there was no question. There was never a question of Meryl looking for a job.